Today I want to talk to you about this thing called the power of feeling your best. Now, we've never been in this situation before. Everybody's hurting. There's lots of fear out there. Stress has never been at an all-time high. But I'm going to give you some information today that basically you can take care of yourself and you can share this with others. The thing we're facing right now is this thing we have more time. Before we didn't have enough time. Now we have lots of time. But in many ways, it's become even worse for many people. Our capacity's shrinking. We don't have the resiliency. We're wearing down. At the end of the day, again, I'm watching my grandson, my daughter's in town from Chicago, staying with us. It's a different world right now. The second problem we're facing is stress. Never been worse. So again, this is a major problem. But when you think about stress itself, this is something I want to share with you. I know we need to be on our electronics. We know we need to be on screen time, but we're sleeping less, we're working more. It's time we got to bring this back, and these are some habits we can build. And walking away, I want you to think about how do you protect your white space, because this is magical as time goes on. Medical illiteracy's never been higher. We don't understand it. It's sideways. We spend a lot of money and energy in our healthcare system, but we're not spending enough time on prevention. Every one of you has had your cholesterol checked, glucose, all these things, triglycerides, you've had those. How many of you had your homocysteine checked? It's one of the biggest risk factors for having a heart attack. Or high sensitive CRP, that's an inflammation marker. Or if you go down lower, testosterone, #1 predictor of how you're aging. As a society, we don't understand this stuff. We need to start taking better control. But the first problem we're having with a medical is we just don't understand it. You got to start asking better questions. So if you want to write something down, here it is. Ask a better question. So here's a question for you. If you have a headache, do you have an ibuprofen deficiency? It's supposed to be kind of a joke, but again, when you think about this sometimes, if I'm not sleeping, start asking a better question. If I feel stressed and anxious, ask a better question. If my blood pressure is too high, ask a better question. So point number one, you've got to start asking better questions. Many people believe that the more exercise I do, the more I'm going to lose weight. That's not true. Carbohydrates are a villain. I need to eat a lot more protein and less carbs. That's not true. So if I don't tackle your beliefs, you're not going to get the result. If you cut your hand, what happens to your hand in a couple days? It has amazing ability to heal itself. At the end of life, nobody wants to be here. This is called the aging gap. You have this amazing resources financially. You might have a lot of great things going on in your world, great family, but if you don't have your health, and we see this directly today, you don't have a lot. So if you cut your hand, your body heals itself. That's what I want you to walk away today. No matter where your lifestyle currently is, you can make some changes to get back up there. And that's what I'm more passionate about today than ever, is seeing people make these changes. It's a great time to build some habits around sleeping, okay? And the #1 thing I want to understand about sleeping, not only rejuvenates the whole entire body, but it's the fastest way to boost your immune system, the fastest way. By sleeping 1 hour less, your immune system shrinks by 10%. But the goal right now, when we think about movement, is I want you to start building some habits. Build some habits every day. Maybe I'm going to walk for a little bit. I might do the mini trampoline. I might start doing some strength training. Whatever it is, start building some of these habits. Should I take an aspirin? Well, again, you could take an aspirin, but the point of the aspirin is what do you want it to do? So the first thing I want everybody to understand is when you think about nutrition, there's two basic concepts. #1, what am I missing? Am I missing omega-3 fats? Am I missing B vitamins? But #2 is what am I absorbing? So when I think about taking an aspirin, why would I want to take an aspirin? Well, it helps thin the blood or it helps decrease inflammation. But so do other foods. One of the best ways to basically decrease inflammation, and it's an anticoagulant, thins my blood, is cod liver oil. So not only get the vitamin D3, but I'm also getting that omega-3 fat that's not breaking down my gut. So the answer would be absolutely not. Why would I take an aspirin when I'm doing this? So again, it really gets back to the source. So as you get closer to the source, then you start getting rid of some of these things. So again, we've been taught that taking an aspirin is something we need to do, especially if we have heart issues, and reality is, and now if you're not doing that, that maybe is another question, okay? It's not an option, you have to make mistakes. So if you try cod liver oil and you don't like it, give it some time, or maybe you add it to something, maybe you add it to juice or whatever it might be, but you have to play around with this. If you don't like the oatmeal on the run, you've never had oatmeal on the run, it's cold oatmeal, then maybe you cook your oatmeal. Or you add different fruit to it, or different nuts to it, or different milk. If you don't like cashew milk, try different milk. There's coconut milk, there's almond milk, there's lots of options out there. So the goal is you have to experiment, you have to make mistakes, and there's never been a better time to do that right now.